Hello, my lovely friends. My name is Ava, and let's talk about some steamy romances. These are the romances that I think about that I've read that I'm like, oh, those are the steamiest ones probably that I've read that are good. You know what I mean? That are good. That I feel like other people would pick up as well. Because don't get me wrong, this whole list could be monster romances, but I made sure to possibly make that another video because I know monster romances are not everyone's cup of tea. So there are romances that could be added to this list, but they're more the alien monster variety. I know that's not everyone's favorite. So these are more with people that are humans, that are normal type romances, you know what I mean? But they're not normal. There are things going on in these books, okay? So let's get started. These are 10 steamy romances that I really enjoy. First one is A Lesson in Thorns by Sierra Simone. This is actually a whole series. I have yet to read the whole series, but this one was so good. I do need to pick up the other ones for sure. But this is actually an MMMFFF, I think 3 women and 3 men all doing stuff together. In this house that they grew up in, they kind of all get called back to this estate that they grew up at. They're all family friends and they haven't seen each other in years. And they all, the dog is making sounds. Sorry, she was eating tissue paper. So here we are. This is like one of the steamiest books. Like when someone's asking me for a steamy book recommendation, this is one I definitely turn to because there's FF scenes, FM scenes, or MF scenes, MM scenes, all of them together, a few of them together, like, it's fun. There might be some like magicalness going on with the estate that they're staying at, so this one's really good. My next book is the first book in a series, and I would recommend this whole series as well, but this is Corrupt by Penelope Douglas. Oh, big yawn, good job. This series is all about, I think, four friends who are in this friend group. They're guys, and I think they're called the Devils. I don't know. I'm not good with remembering names, but anyway, each guy in this series gets their own romance, and it's all very hot and heavy and steamy. There might be some like group scenes together as well throughout the whole entire series, but book number 1, our heroine basically spends like the evening with these 4 guys as they like play pranks on Devil's Night, which I think is Halloween. And somehow by the end of the night or the next day, they all get arrested and they've been in jail for I think a year, and they think that the heroine is to blame for their imprisonment and they want revenge. And that's how the story starts out. Even though that kind of sounds like it could be a white shoes romance, it's not. One of the guys, the one that actually ends up not being put in jail out of all of them, is the one that wants revenge and he's gonna get it on her. So I feel like each book in the series kind of has like a revenge plot line of some sort, and they're all really good and really hot. Penelope Douglas knows how to write spice. I remember one of the hottest books that I read when I first got into the genre was Beautiful Bastard by Christina Lauren. I know a Christina Lauren book is on this list. Yeah, Christina Lauren is also an author duo, by the way, if you did not know. It's not one person. But they knew how to write the spice. I think this is a Twilight fanfic, possibly, but essentially this is a romance with a boss billionaire guy and his assistant, and they absolutely hate each other, but she has to like work for him because his dad made the employment arrangements, and he's like sticking to them. And man, there's a lot of like hot banging in the office, in the elevator, in the stairwell. Like, there's so much spice in here, and I actually really enjoyed this series. Like, it's so good. There's a lot of banging, and I wish their newer stuff would also have some, I guess, not this heavy, because I know it's not as marketable like to traditional publishing, but at least like some stuff, because they know how to write it. Now all their stuff is fade to black. This one's so good, like so good. I really enjoyed it. It's not like the best thing ever written, it's just like so fun. Katee Robert is another author that knows how to write spice, and one of my favorite series by her is her Wicked Villain series, which are Disney retellings if the heroine got with the villain instead of the hero, and they're all take place in like modern day at a certain type of club. Okay, but all those books are so hot and steamy. Okay, my favorite one I'll mention is A Worthy Opponent, and this is a Peter Pan retelling where Tinkerbell gets with Hook, and it is so good. I freaking love this one so much. And there's even like an MMF scene that's so hot. It's one of my favorite scenes I've ever read, like hot wise. Like, I think about that scene daily. It's so stinking good. And then Katee has also written this little number right here, which is so hot. This is Your Dad Will Do, which is an ex's dad romance where she decides to get with her ex's father. And it's a little novella. And it's so hot. It's so good. You need to read it if you have not yet. It's like so short. Like, just read it. It's on Kindle Unlimited. One of the hottest books that I've ever read, like majority, probably 80% of this book is steam, is Sugar Daddies by Jade West. My friend Samantha from Books with Samantha recommended this book to me. She was not wrong. This book is hot as hell. Hot as hell. This is an MMF romance. Our two guys are already together and in a relationship, and they end up meeting our heroine and want her to join in their relationship. Like, the spice is spicing. It's majority of spice. So if you're wanting more plot, maybe don't pick this one up because it's pretty long. Like, the audiobook is really long, but like most of it is spice. So if you want a novella, I have Set by Alexandria House. This one is a romance between like an older couple, like characters that are not in their 20s or 30s. I think they're in their 40s. They're at a high school reunion and they bump into each other after all these years, and they decide to get the ball rolling for them being together. They knew of each other in high school, but they never got together or anything. But they always like thought the other person was like cute or whatever. But then they meet each other back up, but then they meet up at this reunion and they're like, okay, let's get it going. And they hook up, and then it turns into like a common thing, and they get together, and there's other things involved. This one does have a plot, even though it is novella length. Like, she has children, and there's some like drama going on with them and stuff like that. So, but man, Set, that's the hero's name, like his mouth. Trick Shot by Kayla Gross is an MMF one that was so hot and fun. Our two guys are like best friends that are honestly also in love with each other. And our hero, one of them, ends up running into our heroine at the airport, and they hit it off really well, and he invites her over to his house with his best friend because I think her flight got canceled and she has nowhere else to go. She's like, oh, come over to my place. And yeah, they end up hooking up and stuff. There is a plot to this one as well. It's not just spice, but the spice is spicing. The hero is the identical twin to a famous hockey player, and the heroine thinks that that is the hockey player, and the hero kind of feeds into that. And so that's not the best part of this book because he's lying, but don't worry, like it all works out in the end. But our other hero is like this giant bun wearing man, and I freaking love him also. If you want a historical, I have Duchess by Day, Mistress by Night by Stacey Reid. This is a single mom historical romance. These two characters meet, and the hero is smitten by this woman. He is of lower class standing, even though he is very rich because he was not born into society, but he is kind of like, he has a nickname, I can't remember that off the top of my head, but he is very well known for people owing him stuff because he grants a lot of favors. He does things off to the side. He does not the most legal things, like does favors for people in exchange for money and other things, like has them in his pocket essentially. And the heroine's young son, she's a single mom, her son goes missing, and she comes up to him and is like, I will do anything, find my son. He goes, deal, I want you. Like, I want you. And man, does he have her. It is so hot. This one is so stinking hot. So if you want a historical, Stacey Reid knows how to write spice. And if you want a novella, you can't go wrong with the Jessica Kane. This is Breaking the Bully. The hero is bullying the heroine throughout high school because she ends up ignoring him even though he's like in love with her. But little does he know that her dad has threatened her, is being abusive, and has threatened her, like, if I see you conversing with that boy, like, I'm gonna kill him. So she has cut off all communication, has started ignoring him, and his goal in life now is to bully her. But then he finds out like what happened. He may or may not go after her dad. So anyway, it's also really hot. It's a Jessica Kane novella. Jessica Kane knows how to write some spice. Anyways, there you have it. Those are 10 spicy romances. Let me know down below if you have read any of these books or if you plan to, and if you don't feel like commenting anything else, you can leave me a chili pepper emoji in the comment section down below. And also leave down below your spicy as heck book recommendations because I need them in my life. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching. I will see y'all soon in my next one. Bye y'all.